Come get me, you got me feeling unsteady. Waiting for you when you're ready, and it's all in your time.
Hi, my name is Alex, and this is my first podcast. Well, by myself, at least. As of right now, I'm doing another podcast. I'm doing it with some online friends of mine called the Anti-Weeb Club podcast. And that so far is on its third episode. And, we did a third episode, but as of right now, as of right now, like today, February the 3rd, it is in, editing. It's in editing right now, and I'm trying to edit it and do some stuff with it. But for this podcast, this is my first by itself, and not gonna lie, it feels a little weird. Because when you do, a podcast with friends or whatever, it's sort of like playing catch. You guys are, maybe someone starts it off, and then you have someone to go off of it. I don't know. It feels weird, but hopefully this podcast goes well. I'm not gonna lie though, this is not my first recording of this podcast. I did a recording, I think, a day or two ago. Actually, it was yesterday that I did it. But I'm not sure which one's going to, be the best one. So whichever one gets uploaded is the one. And you want to know what I just realized is that if it's not this one, well, then you're not even going to be hearing this conversation. You're not even going to be hearing this at all. But yeah, whoever's listening, I hope you're having a great day, a great morning, a great night. Stuff. As of right now, it's actually 9:34 p.m. It feels actually really interesting, getting into podcasting. Because high school me, I never paid attention to podcasts. I think in high school I knew about podcasting and what podcasts were, but to me they came off as probably, I think without a doubt, probably some of the most boring shit in the world. But now that I'm in college, podcasting is the coolest shit ever. College to me is one of those things now where you find some of the most absurd things, growing up you would have thought were stupid. I guess podcasts aren't absurd, but I guarantee you that probably majority of people younger than the age of 18, 19 probably think there's a lot of stuff that is stupid, but then as soon as they get into college, that all changes, the whole ball game changes. And I don't know, with I really feel with doing a podcast that I'm in college now, well, not in college. I mean, I've been in college for 3 years, but the whole wow. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm fucking saying. Yeah, you know what I mean. I would have never done this before, but now in college, it seems to be the hippest shit. But, yeah. Today was sort of an interesting day for me. I went to so my car's been making some noise recently, making this high-pitched Wookiee sound. It's coming from the engine compartment, and the worst part, with my car, and I know it's not just my car, but my car seems to experience it a ton. And that's where it gives a sound. It gives some weird sound that doesn't sound right. The high-pitched Wookiee sound. And then as soon as I take it to my mechanic, it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it at all. And so I called my mechanic up this morning. I was like, hey dude, I was my car's making this weird ass noise. I was wondering if you could look at it. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll look at it. I drive over there. And it's pretty interesting what I saw over there, but I'll get to that in a second. I drive over there. Well, as I was on my way there, I saw something interesting. So I get to my mechanic. I tell him about it, and the sound didn't make the noise didn't happen at all this morning, and it's happened like the last few days. And I drive it over there, and he's like, well, I won't be able to like do anything about it, you know, unless it makes the sound. And I'm like, I know, dude. It's like, I already know that. And to be honest, I don't even know why I drove all the way over here, because I knew that's like exactly what you were going to say, that you wouldn't be able to do anything about it. But that's not the point of this story. That's not the point of this story at all. On my way over to my mechanic, right now in my city, I live in Texas. I'm not going to say what city I live in, but I mean, you probably just have to do a few Google searches and you can actually find it. Fort Worth. I live in Fort Worth. There we go. Just get that out there. If I die, if this podcast never even shows up, well, then again, it goes back to the actually first point. No one would ever hear this. So if I died, no one would even know. But in Fort Worth, we have, you know, Texas is this very proud country state. You know, we're all about cowboy boots. We're all about cowboy hats. We're all about our country music, because fucking Texas. And so obviously to celebrate shit like that, we have a stock show. Now at the stock show, if you don't know, animals are shown. They have some rides there, and you can probably catch some goldfish if you throw some balls around and land it. Basically, I don't even know. It's like a mini Six Flags, but really for Texas. Like mini Six Flags Texas edition. So I was driving over there, and as I'm driving up, on the right, well, like this, I feel as though I'm saying a bunch of unnecessary shit. Basically, I was driving, and as I was driving, I came across a group of people holding the Confederate flag. You know, they were just like sitting across from the stock show by themselves. They were a family, but they were all by themselves, holding these Confederate flags. And now I think, you know, I'm not going to go fully into depth how I feel about the Confederate flag. It's not really the flag itself, but it's like the symbolization of the flag. You know, like when you think of the Confederate flag, you don't think of the flag, you think of all the history behind it, right? And for some odd reason, a lot of people are just like proud of this history. Like, well, no, as one of these Confederate cucks would say, it's the history or whatever. You know, they'd like to support the history of the thing without giving a fuck about what the history is about. You know what I mean? Well, no, what they like to say is, instead of acknowledge what it's about, they like to say, it's history. It matters. It matters. You know, like they like to make that point. So I was driving by, and as I look over at these cucks, it's like they were in such a weird placement. Like, the stoplight before you get to them, you can't see them. And the road that you're on is 40 miles per hour. So with these guys, it's like, why are you even there? You know, they're not protesting. They're not being loud. They're just standing there with their like 6 Confederate flags. They're like 2 Texas flags and their 1 America flag. You know, for whatever reason, you know, they weren't protesting or anything like that. Maybe they were protesting the stock show. Maybe the stock show didn't have enough Confederacy in it or something, and they were just adding to it, you know, adding their part to it. But when it comes to groups like this, you know, like for example, at my school, like back in my high school, at one point, I don't remember what year I was in, but at one point you had this family, or it's like you had some family and some friends of theirs, and they stood like right outside my high school with like, you know, abortion is bad signs. And they weren't protesting. Well, I guess it's like silent protesting, but they were just standing there with these like dead fetus photos, just standing there not doing anything. You know what I mean? And it's like what's the point? You know, you're not doing anything. You're not changing anybody's mind. You're probably pissing more people off with your little silent just sitting there. Like, you're wasting your time. I don't know. I don't get it. You know, I definitely know that if I was proud to hold up a sign of abortion or of a dead fetus, like, I do it for a reason, which I guess there is a reason behind it. You know what I mean? There's probably that reason of, you know, I'm making a point, but like, it's like you're wasting your time. Anyways, while driving past these people holding the Confederate signs, I wanted to roll. Never in my life have I ever wanted to whenever I see groups like this, I never try to like do shit. You know, I never try to start shit because it's pointless. In the end, like, I've seen all the videos. I've seen all the YouTube videos. I've seen, not really LiveLeak. I don't really pay attention to LiveLeak because LiveLeak, if you don't know, it's a much more gruesome site. But I've seen the Twitter videos of, like, where people, like, it triggers someone and then it turns into a huge argument battle and it goes nowhere. It goes nowhere at all. And so, but this was the first time where I like thought about rolling down my window and saying, like, because they look as though they fucked each other. Honestly, these guys looked as though they just got done having sex with each other. And they were so proud of having sex with each other in the Confederacy, they decided to just stand outside across from the stock show in a place where nobody could really see them and just, you know, show how proud they were. I will say that not only did they look like, you know, like it's family, like they're just a full family of incest. One of the kids was holding a flag too, and he was just standing there in a you know, a Confederate suit, right? He was standing there in a Confederate suit, and just had the most fucking, oh my god, his face actually pissed me off more than whatever they were doing. He had this like smirk going on, and god damn it, dude, like he's like the type of kid that you just like would hate in school, you know, or you'd see him and he'd piss you off and you'd like try to talk shit or whatever. Like, I don't know, he got the face of a kid that you just like wanted to just destroy with any type of ability that you could destroy him with. And like, I will say though that these guys did make an impact on me, because as soon as I got to my mechanic and I turned around, I went right past the same road and stared at them some more. But yeah, that was my morning this morning. What's going on? What's going on? Or what's the Super Bowl's happening. I know that the Super Bowl is a big thing that's going on. I used to be a huge Super Bowl fan. Like, me and my family, we used to have our own little family celebration. Like, what we do is, like, my mom would go to the local Albertsons and get like a cake the size of like, I don't know, like 2 tennis balls, and we'd celebrate the NFL. Super Bowl, the good old Super Bowl. Well, I guess we were like, you know, a lot of Americans out there that, you know, they're very proud. They're very proud of this Super Bowl. I don't know. Over the years, definitely my drive for football has definitely, without a doubt, decreased. I used to be a huge football fan. I had jersey on jersey. Like, one of my favorite running backs was Ricky Williams. Then he like got into drugs and then moved up to Canada and, I don't know, plays whatever. Like, I loved football. And I remember that I wanted to play football, and all I was allowed to be, at least my mom only would allow me to be the kicker, and I thought the kicker was the most pussiest. Like, growing up, I thought the kicker was the most pussiest position that you could ever be. And the biggest bitch position. Like, no one wanted to be a kicker at all. And then as I got older, I saw the awesomeness of being a kicker, and I never became a kicker. I actually sucked at kicking. Looking back on it, though, I did have an arm. I did have a pretty good arm. You know, I could throw a pretty damn good spiral. But my mom didn't want me to be a part of the be a part of the good old National Football League or whatever, because of the pads and like the injuries and stuff. But I loved football. I was a diehard Cowboys fan. I would dress up. There was a few Halloweens that I remember, like, one costume that I remember really having was a Baltimore Ravens costume. And I remember, like, I was, like, I think headed to my dad's house. I had a helmet. I had this purple jersey. I had these purple pants. I didn't have pads in them. And I'm not sure if I wore cleats, but I remember I was so happy to wear this costume. And we were heading to my dad's house, and the highway got shot. Yeah, the highway got shot down, out of nowhere. Some ginormous bird with guns just shot the highway down right in front of us. Now, the highway was shut down, and my mom had to turn around. I remember just bawling my eyes out. I don't even know why. I don't even know why. But I got to wear, if I do remember, I got to wear my costume into a Mexican restaurant, so yeah. But over the years, my drive for football has strongly decreased. I'm more of a hockey fan. I'm not really in general like a football, like, sports fan. I'm not really a sports fan, but I mean, if there's any sport that I actually can sit down and I enjoy, it's hockey. I love hockey. I don't watch it, which is probably weird. It's probably weird to be like, yeah, I love hockey. I don't watch it, but I love it. I don't play the games. I don't have a fantasy hockey league, but the sport, a favorite of mine. It's like the Olympics. Actually, the Olympics I'll watch. I'm not sure when the Winter Olympics start, but man, I love watching the Summer Olympics. I try to sit down and watch as much as I can. I try, like actually growing up, this is probably really fucking weird, but growing up, it was my dream to watch the Olympics with whoever my wife was. Like I don't know what it, like, I remember watching the past Olympics recently. Which, when were the past Olympics? What, 2 years ago? Was it 2 years ago? 2016? I think it was 2016, right? Here, I'm going to look it up. I'm looking it up on my phone right now. Last Summer Olympics. I think it was 2016, right? I think they went to Brazil, right? Okay, that's not helpful. Yeah, 2016 Rio. I remember sitting there. I was in my mom's room, and I was sitting there on the bed, and, like, how old was it? How old was I? I'm 21 right now. 2016. Oh, I was 2019. I was 19 years old. And I remember sitting there watching the sports, and I was like, I was just saying to myself, and sitting to myself, God damn it, Alex, like, fix what you say. I was sitting there watching, I think bicycling was on, and I was like, I can't wait to watch this with my wife. And it's like, looking back, like honestly looking back on it, I can't agree more with my past self. I can't wait to watch it with my wife. The big reason I can't watch hockey is because first of all, I don't have a subscription, and normally hockey games come on at times that I'm not even watching TV. Like, I'm normally playing games. Like, I love playing video games, and I normally like play them like around 6 o'clock. I actually I stream on this website called Twitch, and I love streaming, and so normally that's normally when hockey games happen, and yeah. But I love hockey. Hockey's a great sport. Hockey's an awesome sport. I will say though, it can get brutal. Like, I remember I was talking to some friends, and one of my friends, she linked me a video of a guy whose, like, neck got cut. Jeez. like the guy was just like, he was like blown away that he actually got cut. So like this guy crashes into the goalie, and his skate cuts the dude's neck, and the dude just starts bleeding everywhere. And he's sitting there like holding the blood, like looking everywhere. And supposedly an artery got cut. But looking at it, I would love to play hockey too. I think hockey would be a lot of fun. I don't know how to skate. I've considered ice skating over the years, but it'd probably be best to like, you know, at least learn how to ice skate before I actually do it. But yeah, I think doing hockey would be a ton of fun. If not doing ice hockey, doing a rollerblading hockey. I think that would be a lot of fun. So yeah, sports, man. Sports. The big thing about football, though, just to add a little thing on, I used to be such a big football fan. My dad and I would buy every Madden every year. I actually forget. I think it was maybe 2017 was the last year that I actually played Madden. I think it was that year. Man, Madden, I made such great memories on Madden. So I don't know what Madden it was. I played Madden for a long ass time. I think it was like 2001 Madden all the way up to 2017. No, I didn't play it up to 2017. Actually, I could be wrong. Maybe it was 2015. I played Madden for 14 years. God. Jeez, man. There's like so many games out there. And I played Madden for 14 years. What the fuck? Anyways, I will say I had some fun memories of Madden. At one time, like I decided this was back on the PS3. I remember like Madden like eventually got like online, and I remember joining a team, and it'd basically be like 3-on-3. Like so you'd have two teams, and then like the online players is like you would have three players. Like one would be a wide receiver, one would be a running back, and one would be a quarterback on offense. And then on defense, I think one was like a lineman, one was a cornerback, and maybe one was like a linebacker or something like that. But I remember I met these two dudes. One guy was named Monstro, and the other, I forget the other guy's name. But we were like, in my eyes, we were the possible dream team. Granted, we didn't really win. We didn't really win at all. I think we maybe out of like, let's say like 12 matches, we probably won like one. But we had like the best communication, I think, ever. Like I remember Monstro would play wide receiver. I was running back, and we'll call the other guy like Denny. Denny was quarterback, and we were just like, we were the future Madden like team. We were the future Madden team. At one point I thought Monstro died because one time like Monstro just like stopped playing. Just completely stopped playing. Never got on his PS3. I don't know what happened to Denny. I think me and Denny played one match and that was it. And we lost that match. I like caught the ball and then I made my character jump and he jumped out of bounds. And we lost the game because of that. And after that, me and Denny never played. Personally, because just want to say, it was not because I fucked up. It was because Vinny just stopped playing the game. But man, those were the days. Yeah, I sort of miss the Madden days. Actually, recently, I don't know what it is, but I've been listening to a lot of stuff that I used to listen to growing up. Like, okay, back in my middle school days, specifically, I think it was 7th and 8th grade, I listened to the great singer Owl City. And I loved Owl City. I loved one album of Owl City, but back during that time, that album was like popping, and it was Ocean Eyes. And there was something about it, like I just loved. First of all, I loved the music. I loved Fireflies, but I forget the song. It was the first song on Ocean Eyes, but I would listen to it, and this was back when I would read like manga, and when like I remember like middle school me like wanted a freaking Japanese girlfriend. Like I was so deep in anime and manga and just like that type of culture that I was like, I hope I meet a freaking Asian girl, specifically Japanese, you know? And what I do is I would like, while Owl City would play, like his music during this time, I'm not sure if it does it now, but was totally catered to like the middle school audience. And I would remember like while my mom would drive me to I don't know if YouTube was around this time, but whenever my mom would drive me to middle school, I would like listen to the song and I could just imagine me and my Japanese girlfriend just reading manga and watching anime together. And recently I've been getting back into this artist, like, well, specifically just this album. Like I find that a little funny. I'm 21 years old now. And this album that I used to listen to and used to give me the thoughts of like love and only focusing on one type of race to be my girlfriend, I'm now listening to it again. I don't know. It takes me back to the times. Like really thinking about it, middle school for me, I was actually a pretty good time. You know, middle school and part of high school was a pretty damn good time. I like in high school I had the skater hair, you know, like I think they're called bowl cuts. Is that what they're called? Like I had that skater hair. I listened to freaking anime music. I listened to this one artist. His name is Matt Carney. I'm actually really excited. I'm going to a Matt Carney concert this year. It sucks though because like I'll get to it in a second, but like VIP ran out and I really wanted VIP. But I listened to Matt Carney, and Matt Carney, just to say, is an amazing artist, but he was also an artist that made me dream of having a relationship. But like those were the times, man. Those were really the times. I would sit on my weekends during school and just watch anime, blast Owl City, watch some like Lego stop motion YouTube videos. I would flick my hair. Can't do that now. But man, like I just see myself slowly, like recently I've been listening to Destiny's Child. Like 2 years ago, I would have never listened to Destiny's Child ever. I've been listening to old Mariah Carey, old Beyonce, old Rihanna, like fucking Nickelback. That's probably the worst part out of everything I've just said right now. Like Owl City is probably better than Nickelback. Well, probably majority of people would consider Owl City to be better than Nickelback. But I've been like, man, those were the times. I sort of miss those times. Because recently, I think I've determined what makes me feel old. And it's not my body. You know, my back, like I get back problems and I'm like, oh man, that's like a 30-year-old thing. But like this schedule, so I'm in college and this, like I'm on a new schedule and I'm trying to become a teacher. Like the goal is to become a teacher. I want to become a middle school teacher and teach science. And as of right now, like I'm going to school 3 days a week and I'm like surveying a class on one of the days. And it feels as though there's no hours left in the day. Like it honestly feels as though there's no hours left in my day. And it's at that point that I actually feel old now. You know, I like my old schedule. I used to just go Tuesdays, Thursdays all day, but like that is 4 days. No, wow, I can't count. I get 5 days off with that schedule. Now, shoot, like what even is a break? What even is a break? You know? But yeah. About Matt Carney. I was so mad. So, like I said, Matt Carney was an artist that I absolutely loved. Loved. He's not dead. And he's not, like, I still love his music. Except some of the shit you're coming out with, man. Recently, hasn't really struck a chord with me. But he's coming in concert. Now, just a little thing about me. This is probably really weird. Well, it's like, it's not weird. It's more like like it's more of like, dude, you kill your bank account if you do this. So if an artist comes in, so like first off, I have a big like enjoyment of getting a laminate when I go to a concert. So like to give an example, like recently, well, I'm not sure if this is like, if I'm just noticing it and this thing has started happening like sort of like, I want to say like beginning of 2017 up to like now 2018. But like if an artist comes in concert, like he obviously sets his like ticket thing. So you have general admission, then you have VIP, right? Obviously, you should already know this. But normally VIP, you pay a lot of money, but with VIP you get a laminate. And I love laminates. I don't know why, but like Matt Carney, to give an example, like Matt Carney, he's not a huge artist. You know, he's a good artist, and I think he's a pretty well-known artist, but he's not like Green Day big, and Green Day's like dying, I think, or at least I haven't heard really anything from Green Day. And he's not big like, let's say, what's an artist that, like, think of just like an artist that's well known to the point, like, I don't know. He's not like big like a lot of mainstream artists are. You know, I mean, he's done probably some openings. He's probably known in the industry, and he's done some openings for some other artists. But, you know, as a whole, he's not as well known as, personally, I think he should be. I wouldn't say he's underrated. I just would say that he's just not known. Which then is, well, no, that doesn't really go as underrated, I guess. Underrated is more like they've got, I mean, he's got good music, but like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to fucking explain. Anyways, I love laminates. And when it comes to VIP packages, you know, normally, like, let's say general admission is like $25. A VIP package would probably be on the $75 end, right? Well, Matt Carney, his general admission ticket is $35. And his VIP was $105, right? $105. That's a lot of money. But you see, I would totally pay $105 if I could get the laminate. Like, I don't even know what it is. I think it's because like part of it's a memory. You know, it's like, oh, well, I went to this concert. I saw this guy during this time, and it was like really cool. But also, I just like the look of the laminates. Like, I have a few lanyards, a few being 3. Well, actually, a few is 3. But like 2 of them, like one of them holds like tickets to PAX, like PAX that I went to in 2015, and another one holds VIP to a concert that I went to, I think last year. And I don't know, I like having it. Well, it really sucks because, so at one point, like, see, Matt Carney to me is not the type of artist that would sell out his VIP. You know what I mean? Especially being $105. That's like a fuck ton. You know, especially when your general admission is $35. And to me, he doesn't really come off as the artist that, you know, like, because, like, he's a good artist, but I'm not sure if he's the, like, to me, he came off as the artist that wouldn't sell, you know, a lot of VIP. Especially at the price it was being sold at. But I remember at one point I checked it, and I saw that I could order 2 VIP tickets. And I wanted to get one for me and one for my girlfriend, and I was like, sweet, I can get this laminate. And just a little thing is that's happening for me this year is I'm going on a trip to Maine. So like $200 and planning for a trip, you know, like putting money to the side to plan for a trip definitely isn't something you should be doing. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be like, yeah, I'm planning for a trip, but I'm going to spend $200 to get a laminate, like to get a laminate for me and my girlfriend to go see a concert. You know, it's not smart. It's not economically smart. Anyways, I checked it. I was like, okay, I can get 2 tickets. And I thought, all right, I'll just wait a little while. He comes in April, whatever, right? His shit sold out so fucking quickly. His thing sold out, like, I think I checked it, like, let's say I checked it on, like, the 25th, right? It, like, sold so fast. I think I checked it like 4 days later, and there was like none left. I have never been, well, that's a lie. I've probably been more sadder, but I felt so sad. You know, I like not to the point of crying, you know, but I was like, fuck, man. I want that laminate. And now I can't get it because it's sold out. But I will say that I am going to the concert. I just bought the plebby general admission tickets. Just bought those. But I'm still, you know, I'm still excited for it. I'm still really excited for it. I love going to concerts. Growing up as a kid, my mom actually took me to a lot of concerts. Like, I think my first ever concert was Green Day. And I remember I got a shirt. It had the band members on it. One of them, like, they were smoking cigarettes and they had like dynamite surrounding them. And I wanted to wear it to school the next day. I didn't get to wear it to school the next day. It's probably a good thing, you know, actually thinking about it, because yeah, I'd probably have to wear a different shirt considering it had dynamite and stuff. But yeah, I loved going to concerts. As I got older, you know, and I started paying for my own concerts, it's got, like, some of it concerts are expensive. But I've been to I actually went and saw Owl City in concert. Except the stupid cucks in front of me stood, so I couldn't see, so we left. But yeah, I'm going to Maine. This May. Crazy excited. I haven't traveled in a while either. And to be honest, when I think about it, growing up, like, this must just be a growing up episode. We've talked about costumes, we've talked about music, we've talked about concerts. No, honestly, growing up, I thought Maine was the shittiest state. You know, I don't know. I hate Florida. Like, to give an example, I despise Florida. I will never travel to Florida for the rest of my life. Ever. Like, if I had a kid and they were like, Dad, can we go to Florida? I'd be like, no. We'll go to anywhere else but Florida. Fucking Montana. We'll go to Montana. Yeah, I never hear anybody saying they want to go to Montana, except if they're visiting family. No one's like, all right, guys, family trip, let's go to Montana. No one says that. I hate Florida so much. But I don't know, like, I guess, like, what I saw Maine as growing up was, like, one of those, like, you're a 13 colony state. You've probably just got a bunch of boring stuff. You're probably just proud that you're one of the 13 colonies. Actually, now that I think about it, it's probably not one of the 13 colonies. I could be wrong on that. It's been a while since I've done English. It's been a while since I've really checked. I think Maine was part of the 13 colonies, though, if I remember correctly. But yeah, and now you see, I'm going to Maine, but I'm actually really excited for it. I think Maine, I don't know, like, actually looking at it, I'm renting my first ever Airbnb. I'm going with my girlfriend, and it's actually surprising, like, how many people want to go to Maine. It, like, blew my mind. So me and my girlfriend, her name is Luz. So we were looking at B&Bs. So I know some people are like, well, hotels are smart if you buy tickets. Well, we wanted to get a B&B. And I've actually wanted a B&B. The idea of B&Bs to me are actually pretty cool. I don't know. There's something about B&Bs. It feels, first of all, it feels hipster, you know, so that goes with the whole college thing, all right? B&Bs and podcast, right? But, like, so me and her, we chose a B&B, and it, like we chose it for the dates that we wanted, and it got picked, right? Someone else took some of our dates. And so I remember I was at my grandmother's house, and I was looking through to see what other type of places there are. And I found like 7 of them, right? And these prices, they were like, so in Maine, what you have is like, you have like $50, $60, $70 places, and then you have like 90 and over 100 places, right? So you have like 50 to 70 and then 90 plus. And you don't really have like an in-between, you know what I mean? And so I was at my grandmother's, and while I was there, I was like looking at places, and I think I found like 7 of them, right? And now, granted, like I said, I found Maine being like probably one of the most boring states. I also thought that before this happened. So find seven places. Me and my girlfriend, we looked through them, and out of nowhere, within 5 minutes, 2 of them get booked. Like that. And I was like, oh my God. Like, it got to the point where I was like, if we don't choose a place now, we're not going to have a place. You know, we're not going to have a B&B, because the rest of the B&Bs, and I was scrolling as fast as I could, and the rest of them were like over $100. I guess, like, looking at it, I now know Maine is a very popular place to go. Because also, when it came to plane tickets, my mom was helping me, like, with plane tickets, because, like, you know, first of all, I've never flown by myself. And, I mean, granted, I know I'm flying with someone, but, like, I've never, like, actually, like, whenever it came to trips, I wasn't ever, like, considering booking, you know? It was, like, my dad or my mom who was, like, booking the trip. And so she was, like, helping me with them, and, like, plane tickets were, like, flying out the door, man. Like, every time we'd get to a point in the information, they'd be like, sorry, those tickets just left. It's crazy. It's crazy. A place like Maine, you know, it's getting booked. I would have never thought that. I would have never thought that at all. But, yeah. Super excited, though. Really excited to go to Maine. I think it will be a lot of fun. Like, just a ton of fun. I mean, I do worry about the food, though, because they are pretty proud about lobsters up there, and the last thing that I like is seafood. I absolutely hate seafood. They swim in their own fucking urine. Like, their own shit. They swim in other things' shit. Like, for example, like, at this one, like, you have the Central Market that is sort of near me, and I remember growing up. We're back to growing up. I remember when I'd go, what you'd have is like, they had this tank, and they had like probably 16. No, not 16. That's way too many for this tank. Sometimes it looked as though they had 16 lobsters in one tank. And what they do is they'd take these lobsters out, and they'd kill them, and they'd sell them. And it's like, that is just disgusting. First of all, they're climbing on top of each other, so they're shitting on each other, peeing on each other. It's like someone's going to put that in their mouth. I don't know. Like, seafood, also, it's not just the fact of that, but I just hate the taste of seafood. I've tried it. I've tried shrimp. I've tried other shrimp. I almost choked. I one time went out with my uncle to a seafood place because he got like these free coupons or whatever. And he had some friends there. Like, so we were there chilling and stuff, and he's one of my cool uncles. I love him. And I will say, as much as I love him, I hate seafood, you know? So, like, I was sort of doing this for him, you know? I wasn't really doing this for me. And plus, like, it'd be very rude to be like, yeah, no, dude, I really don't feel like eating seafood, even though you're getting the food for free, you know? So what I did was that we were sitting there, and he had some friends walked in of his, and they start talking. And so I got some seaweed to eat, and I almost choked. Well, no, I did choke. I almost died in front of his friends on seaweed. Seaweed wasn't good. I did have some crab, though. I did enjoy some of the crab. Like, I don't know what type of crab it was. It was sort of like a sweet crab, and I was like, this isn't bad. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. But yeah, it's fucking seafood. I will say that I'm a huge film buff. Just a little thing about me. I love film. I absolutely adore film. Personally, if it was up to me, I would love like career-wise, like a dream job. And I know some people are always out there like, go do your dreams. Go do your fucking dreams. You know, like our good man Shia LaBeouf says, do your dreams. One of my, like, you know, I mean, so people that do that, you have to be realistic. Like, I think it's important to completely follow your dreams and do stuff that you love and things like that. But also, at the same time, I think it's very important to be realistic, you know? Like, film school is expensive, and you're not 100% guaranteed out of college that you're going to get a job in film. Just like with video games. And, like, people can make that same argument of, well, you're not guaranteed to become a teacher or whatever. There's a way higher chance of me becoming a teacher instead of doing something with film. But honestly, my dream job would be something with film, whether it be acting, directing, probably not directing, but writing or voice acting. I think voice acting would be the coolest thing ever. Because I'm a huge cartoon fan too. I absolutely love cartoons. I grew up with cartoons. Cartoons are some of the coolest things. I mean, hell, anime. Anime is pretty cool. But no, I think like I'm just a huge film guy. And recently I've been watching Cloverfield. Recently I watched Cloverfield. Well, that's not true. I watched recently 10 Cloverfield Lane. And if you don't know, it's sort of a sequel, not sequel to the 2008 monster movie Cloverfield. Now, personally, I liked Cloverfield. I sort of loved Cloverfield. But in general, it was sort of like, it was a meh monster movie. It was just one of your, like, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, 2014 Godzilla, I would say, was better. Like, I don't know. To me, I love the Cloverfield movie, but probably to most people, it is just seen as, and I can see it as just like a meh monster movie. Like, out of nowhere, this like monster attacks New York City, and then that's the end. You know, like, that's how it is, right? But I recently watched its sequel, non-sequel. Like, it's considered a sequel in a way, but it's like, I don't know. It's not a direct sequel, you know. It's probably one of those, like, it's in the same universe as the original Cloverfield movie. But I watched it recently, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and like, there is like, I checked YouTube. 10 Cloverfield Lane is a great movie. I definitely suggest it. I think it's an awesome enclosed thriller. Like, it focuses on 3 characters. It focuses on this girl who got kidnapped by this one guy, and it's just an awesome film. It's a really good film, and I watched it, and after watching it, I looked to see how it's connected, and there is so much shit that, like, there are 2 YouTube videos that are 40 minutes combined all about these 2 movies. There are Reddit pages about how these movies are connected in the future of these films. Because if you don't know, there's a 3rd movie coming out for the Cloverfield series called God Particle, I think it's called. I think it's supposed to come out in March. And supposedly, like, Netflix is circling around it or whatever. It's like, not like, there's been reshoots. It's had its problems, right? But like, I was watching these videos because I like sci-fi. I think sci-fi is really cool. And I personally, as a fan of film, I would love to see a lot more cyberpunk movies. I haven't seen Blade Runner or Blade Runner 2049. I would love to see those. But I think cyberpunk movies are so cool. I love cyberpunk video games. And I think, like, the film industry could, like, really do with a lot more cyberpunk. But I was, so, like, after watching 10 Cloverfield Lane, I looked into, you know, I, like, watched these videos about the universes and stuff. And it's like, Cloverfield had, like, I guess the makers of Cloverfield, which is like J.J. Abrams and some others, made websites that talk about, like, they made websites that link with each other about, like, how, like, the monster woke up in Cloverfield and stuff. And it's really interesting. It's, like, so cool. It's probably one of the coolest things ever. I suggest that if you haven't seen Cloverfield or 10 Cloverfield Lane, watch both of them. I don't think you have to watch, like, 10 Cloverfield Lane before the other. I'm not going to 100% say that because I'm going to watch the other 20-minute video about 10 Cloverfield Lane's universe. But I completely suggest watching both films. They are awesome films. And it's just like, and after you do it, I forget the guy's YouTube channel, but he talks about the both movies in the universe and how they're connected. And it's just so interesting what the filmmakers did to like make this entire universe a thing. It's really awesome. So I think this is my podcast. I think this is going to be my first episode of this podcast. I had a lot of fun doing it. Like I said, I made another episode, and I think this is going to be the episode. Like it goes back to the very first thing I said in the beginning. I'm not sure if this episode, like, I like this episode. At least I think this episode went well. Talking about names for my podcast, I think, like, I've thought pretty long and hard, about what I'm going to name this podcast. And I think the name I'm going to stick with is Crankhole Corset. Not cassette, corset. Like something like old, like back in the time women would wear. I don't even know why. It, to me, just rolls off the tongue. It rolls off the tongue and sounds cool. Crankhole Corset. Like, if that was on a shirt, I would wear it. I would honestly wear it. But anyways, I hope you enjoy this podcast. I'm going to try to give this a go. I'm going to upload it to SoundCloud. And since the free version, there's a little shitty thing about SoundCloud. The free version of SoundCloud only gives you 3 hours of upload. So, I am going to upload it to YouTube as well. I'll make like a separate YouTube for it. And stuff. So yeah, in the description, there will be some links to some stuff. And so check that out if you want. I'm out. Outie. Peace. Stay woke. Wait, hang on. Stay woke. Peace.